The man looked at the socket and thought of a way to escape. So, he gathered his cellmates and began to assign tasks. First, the power supply in the medical room should be cut off. There was only one socket in the medical room. They only needed to make 2 iron nails into conductors. Then, they inserted the iron nails into the socket. This would cause a short circuit and cause a power outage in the medical room. However, the medical room would have a backup power supply. Their second task was to cut off the backup power supply first. The backup power supply wires were underground, and it happened that the wires would pass through their dormitory, so they could cut off the wires in advance by digging a hole here. Finally, as long as they all follow collectively, the prison would send an ambulance and they would be sent out of the prison at that time. The next day, they made iron nails. The next step was to start chiseling the floor. They dug for 8 hours before finishing. Then, they covered the pit with gravel and covered it with canvas. Finally, they hid the tools in the dictionary prepared in advance and bribed the cellmates to send the dictionary to the medical room. But just as they were about to act, an accident happened. The prison guard came to check the room, and they immediately pretended to be working. The prison guard looked around and found nothing unusual. But just as the prison guard was about to leave, he seemed to step on something. The prison guard immediately found something wrong. Everyone was very nervous. Then, the prison guard asked them to lift the canvas. The man lifted half of it. The next second, after finding nothing unusual, the prison guard also left. It turned out that the pit was on the other side. Now, they need to go to the kitchen to collect some magnesium oxide. This substance can cause them to have acute diarrhea, but it will not make them unable to move. Soon, they came to the kitchen. The man collected magnesium oxide on the fire door. Just then, a prison guard walked in. If the prison guard stayed here, they would not be able to move at all. So, they could only pretend to fight to attract the attention of the prison guard. The inmates on the other side quickly collected the magnesium oxide. This operation went smoothly. The last step is to start escaping. The movie is called Breakout Brothers. If you are interested, you can go and watch it.